All right, let's talk about making money online. If you've ever even dipped a toe into that world, you know it can feel like you're trying to navigate a giant, confusing maze, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all of that noise and get down to the simple, honest basics. Does this sound familiar? You ask one simple question, and you're immediately buried under this mountain of flashy promises and super confusing advice that, let's be real, usually leads you absolutely nowhere. Yeah, this is not going to be one of those. We're skipping all the hype. We're just going to focus on the simple foundational truths. By the end of this, my hope is that you'll actually understand the landscape and be able to see a path that makes sense for you. So, before we can even think about jumping into specific ideas, we first have to understand the rules of the game. These are the universal principles that govern literally every single dollar made on the internet. You know what? It all boils down to these four things. First up, value. Are you actually solving a real problem? Second, traffic. Can you get people to see your solution? Because if nobody sees it, it doesn't exist. Third, a clear offer. Do people know exactly what they're buying? And finally, trust. Do they believe you can deliver what you promise? You get these four right, and you're in business. It's really that simple, and, well, that hard. I'm serious. If you remember nothing else from this, remember this equation. Every single successful online business, from the tiniest little side hustle to a massive company, is just a different combination of these four ingredients. So, how do people actually package that equation up? Well, it usually comes down to one of these four main paths: side hustles, freelancing, digital products, and content creation. And each one has a different trade-off, between how fast you make your first dollar, your long-term potential, and what it's going to require from you. Let's break them down.
First up, path number one, quick wins. This is all about the side hustle, and it's designed to get you that initial momentum and prove to yourself that this whole making money online thing is actually real.
Side hustles are pretty much exactly what they sound like. They're small, simple, manageable tasks that are designed to get your first dollars online as fast as possible. This is not about building an empire, it's about getting your first win. So, what are we talking about here? Well, it could be anything. Doing quick micro jobs in user testing, selling stuff you already own on a marketplace, or offering a super simple done-for-you service like a basic resume cleanup or a simple logo. The key is you don't need a huge brand or a massive audience to get started, like today. I must be crystal clear about the goal here. It's not to quit your job. The real goal is the psychological victory of seeing actual money show up in your bank account from something you did online. That mental shift, that proof that it's possible, that is everything. Okay, so you've proven it's possible, you got that first win. Now you might be ready for path number two, your expertise. This is where you turn a specific skill into real income. See, freelancing is where you level up. You go from just doing tasks to providing real expertise. You're taking a skill, whether it's writing, design, video editing, you name it, and you're selling it directly to clients who have a bigger problem that needs solving. And the path to getting started is surprisingly straightforward. 1. Pick a skill you can get decent at. 2. Create a few examples of your work. And hey, practice projects are totally fine. 3. Go where the clients are already hanging out. Now, you might have to start with a lower rate just to get those first crucial reviews, but then, as your skill and your confidence grow, you raise your prices. Okay, this next path, this is where the idea of leverage really starts to come into play. This is all about separating your time from your income. We're talking about digital products. These are assets, things you create one single time that can then be sold over and over and over again without any extra work from you. It's about packaging your knowledge or your skill into something that someone can buy and use on their own. And this could be anything from a simple ebook or a spreadsheet template all the way up to a full online course. The goal is to solve a common problem with a tool or a guide that people can use themselves. But here's the reality check. We've all heard that buzzword, passive income, right? Well, with digital products, the work is incredibly front-loaded. It takes a ton of effort to create something great, and then, and this is the part people always forget, you still have to solve the traffic problem. You need an audience to sell it to. The income only starts to feel passive after all that hard work is already done. And that brings us perfectly to our fourth and final path, which honestly is often the engine that powers all the other ones. Welcome to the audience game. Content creation is all about building an audience by making stuff that people find valuable or entertaining. You're creating things on platforms like YouTube or TikTok or a podcast, and then you figure out how to turn all of that attention into an income.
And there are so many ways to do that. You can earn from ad revenue, you can get brand sponsorships, or you can promote other people's products through affiliate marketing. But, and this is the real power move, you can sell your own freelance services or your own digital products to an audience that already knows you, likes you, and trusts you. That's a huge advantage. The most crucial thing to understand with content is that it is a marathon, not a sprint. You might be posting for months and feel like you're just shouting into an empty room. The people who succeed, the people who win, are the ones who commit to it for the long haul, consistently providing value without expecting a quick payday.
Okay, we've covered the 4 main paths. Now, for the most important part, how do you figure out which one is the right place for you to start?
It really just boils down to this simple choice. If you need money now, like right now, you should be looking at side hustles or freelancing. But if you're playing the long game and you want to build some real leverage for later, then you should focus on digital products and content. And of course, you can always combine them. Use freelancing to pay the bills while you build up your audience on the side.
So that's the breakdown. 4 paths, all built on the exact same core rules of value, traffic, offer, and trust. The only question left is the one right there on your screen. Which one of these paths feels like the right first step for you right now?